It's time to rise from excuses to power so that you can begin turning the excuses trauma created into stepping stones of power. But before we start, I'd love to see a show of hands. How many people here have experienced some type of trauma? Now, keep your hand raised if you ever allowed that trauma to become an excuse, to isolate, to miss an opportunity, or to become dependent upon someone or something. See, I chose this activity for a reason. Research says that nearly 70% of people will experience some type of trauma in their lifetime. So if you are thinking this isn't for you, you are not the exception. I know that statistic isn't abstract because I was one of them. I used trauma to keep me bound. And I'm sharing my story today because I don't want trauma to keep you bound anymore. I want you to be free. Here's why you should listen to me. Because I'm not standing here because I loved myself well for most of my life. I'm standing here because for years, I didn't love myself at all. I survived long enough to choose differently. This is me. For years, I hid the sexual trauma that happened after my second assault. I didn't talk about it. I buried it. The labels I was given, bitch, hoe, slut, and slowly I began to believe that love and sex were supposed to involve a fight. Yelling, screaming, tearing each other down, even hitting. The belief I internalized was simple and dangerous. I was unloved. And that belief created patterns. I lived dangerously. I avoided medication. I struggled with food disorders. I attempted suicide. I drank to get drunk. I surrounded myself with people just to feel protected. Even when those same spaces became where the abuse continued. Somewhere in the middle of surviving, I almost gave up on a dream. The dream that I wanted to live and help other people improve their lives by letting go of the excuses that kept them bound. Then there came a moment when hiding was no longer an option. On February 1st, 2021, I had to choose life. I woke up unable to move. I could barely breathe. And in that moment, I heard a question that rose up from inside of me that changed everything. Do you want to live or die? That was the moment the excuses stopped working. I chose to live. Not because life was easy, but because I was tired of trying to erase myself. What changed wasn't perfection. I don't have it all together. But today I can talk about my trauma without being led by it. I found strength not by fighting harder, but by letting go and humbling myself enough to be honest. The life shift that followed became the She Breaks Through movement, a movement born from truth, ownership, and decision. The decision to stop surviving and start rising. And here's the truth that I had to face. And maybe you do too. If you don't like the truth, change. Not your past, not what happened to you, but what you keep allowing trauma to excuse. So now this part is yours. Silently, I want you to name one excuse that trauma taught you to carry. Got it? Now I want you to grab it. I want you to really grab it and take hold. And when you're ready, I want you to throw it, because excuses do not have to be chains. They can become stepping stones. This is me. And this is your moment. It's time to rise. Thank you.